Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to Switching Lanes with Miss Parker. Miss Parker, what a day it has been for each and every one of us. But guess what? I'm here. I'm back again. And, switch up the vibes a little bit. Just have some general conversation and things like that and just kick it a little bit, talk about relationships and stuff like that. Because we all stay in it one way or another. We all have been in some kind of, not all, but most have been in a relationship that's been toxic or, even now being in a relationship where we just stay because we're content. And I always said, dang, why do we stay if we're not wanted or happy? That's the question. Let me get a shout out to my new members. I gotta go this route. Thank you, Swag, for becoming a member of Pookie Poo, MNPD, Amber. Thank you, thank you. One Love, Angela Taylor. Thank you guys so much for becoming members. I appreciate that. I do. I want to get it started. Please don't forget to hit that like button as you come in. Hey, Angel One. Hey, Love. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you won't miss a live. Also, share the lives out. If you have a community wall or you're a content creator, share the live out for me. Also, YouTube offers content creators an incentive. I use mine, it doesn't matter what you get, $1.99. You can be up $10, $1 here, $1 there, $1 here, $1 there. But it's an incentive and I use it. Hey sister. But also say hello to your neighbor as you come in. When I don't type it, it just be different. But say hello to your neighbor as you come in, please, and thank you. Hey again, hey Black, hey Black, hey Colton, what it do? Melanie, what it do? Boo. What it do, Kristen? Dr. J, what it do? What it do? How y'all Wednesday been so far? I mean, is it Thursday? Is it Thursday? This Wednesday. See, I don't even know the days. How's y'all hump day been? Mine has been good. I know, Kristen. Black. Tay, hey Tay, welcome, love. Hey Betty. You missed the last live. It was good. It was good. We just kicked it. It was a quick conversation until I come back later, but I'm here. Shank Rock's got another live set up, and so your day's been good, lovey, good, good. Everybody else, how's your hump day? How's your hump day? Most of y'all been kicking it and vibing it with me. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. Appreciate each and every one of y'all seriously. Hey Marty. She said very informative. Was it? Yeah, it was. It was informative. It was informative. I'll leave that there. Yeah, it was. It was informative. Very informative. I got my little sweaty on and stuff. I'm feeling comfortable until later. Hey, Miss Jackson. Hey, yeah, I work sneak listening, so I'm in the bushes listening. Just want to check in. Okay, sister. Hope you get some rest today. We missed you. Yeah, Tay, I'm rested. I did it yesterday. Thank you, Angel One. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, I'll type it in the chat really quick. Y'all got interviews. I'm trying to set up interviews and I be working. Just because I don't be on here, I be working. Plus, I got some stuff I want to share tonight. Um, sure do. Sure do. She said, Dr. Jason, did you say share your live on your channel? No, I said, if you have a community, well, I always say share the lives and stuff like that, Dr. J. Nothing much. Hey, Sunshine. Angela, I dropped my email down there. One Love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. She's got you. Thank you, love. Let me see something. Dr. J, really quick. Are you a man or a woman? Because I don't want to get it wrong. That's why I don't be knowing what emoji. to drop because in your picture it's not a hey Nika, it's not a song. I don't want to offend nobody. So yeah. So I just wanted to do a little something different. I always do these like this. Hey Cynthia. Okay, Doctor. Yay. Okay. I thought so. I felt it in my spirit, but I did not know. And I was like, dang, if I put the little fist with the 100s, I do that for the men. But my ladies, I like to harm my sisters and stuff like that. But yes, now I know. How many of us have stayed in a toxic relationship? How many of us have stayed in a relationship where we wasn't happy, but we stayed forever, for years, not weeks, not months, years, even married. We stayed in a relationship where we wasn't wanted. We didn't feel wanted. I have. I'm guilty. Very guilty. I'm guilty because I didn't love me. I loved people more than I loved myself. I didn't know my worth. Lovey said I have. I didn't know my worth. Hey Betty. Betty said I did. I just really never knew what love was. And it's like I never thought that I deserved real love. Because of the men I chose. Hey Melanie. Hey Niecy. She said, Melanie said I have. Niecy said I definitely have. 18 years married, 24 together, 1 year separated now. Lovey said I tried to justify staying with scripture. That's a good one. That's a good one. Ken said, me, definitely, I felt worthless and my self-esteem was non-existent. That's where I was. No self-esteem. Low, very low self-esteem. It's hard. Is it hard to admit that you was, do you feel dumb or was it, okay, I got you guys, babe. I see you. Okay, boo. Thank you. Um, I thought the guys I chose was just really what my life would always be. Those kind of men. I never thought I was deserving of a good man. So I always chose those that was toxic because I didn't feel deserving. Like I said, my self worth. I didn't have values or morals. I had nothing. Like totally had nothing. She said, one love said I did believe in that I could change the person and make him love me more. Me too. Get that. Lovey said I felt stupid at first until I learned I was broken. Okay. One love said I was so young and dumb. Kenya said the more God kept trying to get me out, the more I try to make it work. Praying, asking God to fix it, to make him love me. And the whole time God knew it wasn't for me and was showing me in many ways. Taco Prince. It's okay, sister. Sunshine said I love this topic. Rare said I've been the side chick playing the main chick roles. Ooh, me too. Nisi said I felt dumb when I realized he was a narcissist. She said he couldn't see it, but now I understand I like boundaries. Taco Prince said I felt like I wasn't good enough. I want to play a little video and then I want to stop it and we're going to talk about it for a second. Okay, guys?
All right, listen up. I want to talk to you about something real, something that keeps too many people trapped in toxic relationships. Now, some of why all are asking, why don't they just leave? Aha, that's the wrong question. The real question is, why do they stay? See, people don't stay in toxic relationships because they want to suffer, because they believe this is as good as it gets. They've been broken down, beaten up mentally.
How many of us stayed and said, this is good as it gets? Because that's where I was. I just said that this is as good as it gets for me. I'm not gonna ever find anybody that is more than what I'm getting. Broken down, he said they've been broken down and beaten up mentally. And I came from a 2-parent home that loved me. So how was I choosing men that didn't love me and accepting me? She said, I felt dumb. She said, I also know that falling in love with a person so deeply like that, we also have to remember that we serve a jealous God, that anything we put above him, he will take away. Ken said, I was a mess. I was very destructive when I was rejected. Sunshine said, Nisi, same here. Don't beat yourself up about it. I guess we live and learn. Nisi said, Sunshine, thanks. I definitely don't anymore. I see he was broken. Mad I wasted time. She said, Ken said, I was mentally, verbally, and emotionally and spiritually abused. Hey, Portia, sister. Hey, Zilla. One Love said, also, we're dealing with insecurities. The man often tells a woman that you will not get anyone better than me, and she believes that. But that's because of her not knowing her worth and being insecure.
Emotionally, even spiritually. And when you've been in the storm too long, you start thinking the storm is home. You ever see a bird in a cage with the door wide open? That bird ain't flying away because it doesn't even know it's free. That's what a toxic relationship does. It reprograms the mind. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you believe love is supposed to hurt. Now, let's get real. Some folks stay because of fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of what's out there. Fear of not being enough for someone else. And that fear, it keeps him locked in. But let me tell you something, being alone is better than being in a room.
Who's coming in the driveway?
Hold on.
Goodness. My daughter is.
Oh, we've been together for years. So what? If you've been drinking poison for years, you're supposed to keep drinking it. Time does not equal love. And then there's guilt, the manipulation. They got you thinking, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. No, love does not destroy.
How many of us feel like I'm the problem? Maybe it's me. You know, I have did this and did that. I have said some things. Maybe that stuck to him. And, you know, he just can't get over it. Maybe it's me. She said, let me see. She said, hey, Sister Wish and Overthoughts. She said, Rare said, yes, it does. Lovey said, yes, it does. Amen. And she said, I also been not the right person for a man, but for some of us, not ready to have them in conversation, admit that, but I have ruined some good men. She said, I've changed and I've tried to change just to be with a man. Look, Wish said, I've been waiting for this 24/7.
Love does not break you down. If you got to lose yourself to keep them, that ain't love. So what do? You wake up. You take back your power. You step out of the storm and into the sunlight because you deserve better. Say it with me, I deserve better. You see, when someone is in a toxic relationship, it's not as simple as just packing up and walking away.
See, sometimes people don't understand that. A lot of times people don't understand that. Because, you know, just when you think it's simple to walk away, you don't. I always said that, why didn't I just, it was just that easy. But I could never come to terms of, why didn't I just do it then if it was so easy? She said, I didn't feel like I was the problem, but damn, I damn sure thought I was the fixer. Let's go, Melody. Melody said, I definitely deserve better. Cynthia said, all right now. We do. And I didn't say that either, Melanie. I'm guilty of that. I definitely didn't feel like I deserved better. Ken said, I became comfortable with the behavior.
To an outsider, it might seem obvious if they're hurting you, why don't you just leave? But that's the problem. When you're inside that situation, when you've been living in that pain for so long, your mind starts to play tricks on you. You don't just wake up one day and decide to stay in something that's hurting you. No, it happens over time. Slowly, the toxic partner chips away at your confidence, your worth, your sense of self, until you start believing this is as good as it gets. That maybe love is supposed to be painful. That maybe the problem isn't the relationship, maybe the problem is you.
Man, maybe the problem is me. I thought love hurt too. Hey, D. She said, Dior said it's a little deeper. Nisi said, yep, the gaslighting was bad. I thought I was the problem. I thought for years I was the problem. Hey, Drea. I just couldn't understand it. If I'm pouring on myself and then, it was the narcissism. In my mind, like he said, was playing tricks on me. A lot of my self-suffering was trying to prove to my mother I could have a happy marriage like her and my father. Yes.
It starts with small things, little comments, little actions, little moments where they make you feel like you're not enough. Maybe they criticize the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you laugh. Maybe they make you feel like everything you do is wrong, like you're constantly walking on eggshells, trying not to upset them. And at first, you brush it off. You tell yourself it's just a bad day. They didn't mean it. But then the bad days become bad weeks.
Don't they? It got so calculated. I knew that we was 3 good days in. And when I started calculating when we was going to argue, I knew. Which said, knew you deserve better, but your heart doesn't know any better. Melanie said, I never see myself as the problem. They were my problem for allowing this to happen to me. Forever. I said, yeah, we just having a bad one. And make up sex that we thought was so good. It was worse. And it got worse. Because then I didn't even understand why I was even doing it. Why I was doing it. I felt nasty at points. I felt really nasty. Healing journey train. I needed this. Lovey said, yes, Lord. She said, break up to my man.
The bad weeks become bad months. And before you even realize it, you're stuck in a cycle where their mistreatment has become your normal. The human mind is powerful, but it's also fragile.
Then the mistreatment become my normal. It was so normal. This shit is just what it is. Sleeping together, not even wanting to touch. Sleeping in separate rooms. That was normal to me. Being somewhere where I wasn't wanted, or was I happy? Even the same thing, me not want somebody, but being in a relationship where I wasn't happy. Miss Wish said that apology that you won't hit different every time. You think it's so real and he understands you this time. For real. She said they call you crazy, but the only crazy thing is you putting up with the BS and taking it back. Oh, I'm glad I'm done. Nisi said, realize I couldn't be me all the time. I would fix something reasonable, but he didn't and wanted more changes. Talking about the way we talk. I loved how he said that. How we dress. Making you feel so insecure that you never thought in a million years down the road, those insecurities will still stay with you. Nisi said, Walking on Eggshells was the first book I read that helped me. Portia said, in my prior marriage of 11 years, I was afraid to divorce due to my spiritual beliefs and didn't want to feel like a failure. I realized I didn't consult God on even marrying that person, so I was wrong. Portia said, right there. Nisi said, yes, it's a cycle. I could see arguments coming. Like I knew. They got so calculated.
When someone hears something long enough, they start to believe it. If a person keeps telling you, no one else will love you. If they keep reminding you, you'll never find better than me. If they drill into your mind, you're lucky I put up with you. After a while, those words become a part of you.
Man, That lucky I put up with you stuck. Nobody ever loved me. I never thought it. Or they knock you upside your head because you can see and smell the demons better than they can. It all resonates like it just happened yesterday. And it's hard, y'all, because trust me, I'm still not able to really fully love. This is why, I'll be telling people I be having my insecure days. I stayed in toxic relationships for 90% of my life. For me back then, he was always right. If I said how I felt, I was wrong, or I'm crazy for thinking the way I felt. Ken said I was married for 11 years, but it was more like just having someone's last name for 11 years, nothing special. He was horrible, very abusive. Typing this is so emotional because it rises back feelings I had. Cynthia said I'm not bragging, but I've been through it all.
You don't even question them anymore. You start thinking, what if they're right? What if leaving means being alone forever? What if no one else will ever want me? What if this is the best I can do?
Man, that being alone, I could not be alone to save my soul. Toxicity was all I knew. Let's go, Zilla. Being alone, Taco Prince said it took me a long time to know and fully understand that I was more than enough. Zilla said we're the same.
And once that fear takes hold, it's like a chain around your ankle, keeping you from running even when the door is wide open. Then there's the manipulation, the mind games. Toxic people have a way of making their victims feel dependent on them. One day they break you down, make you feel worthless, make you question everything about yourself. The next day, they're sweet.
So last night he used him.
honestly nothing better.
They're loving. They apologize. I didn't mean it. I love you. I just get angry sometimes, but it's only because I care. And that little glimpse of love, that moment of kindness, becomes enough to keep you hanging.
Boy, it kept me hanging every time. Even though I was like, nah, I'm done. It kept me hanging on every time. Every time, y'all. I woke up one day and chose single for 2,000 alleys, but it wasn't easy. It took a lot of praying and crying and weight loss, alcohol use, isolation, and depression. Miss Wish said exactly insecurities of the Richter scale. Thank you for that copyright disclaimer. God's faith said I had to sneak and say this. I held on so long, 23 years married, knowing it was horrible, worshiping him more than God, not leaning on God in my own understanding, so God took him. Manipulation. Let's go, Nika.
Hanging on. You think, see, they do love me. They can change. But that's the trap. That's the hook that keeps you stuck. Because right when you're ready to leave, they reel you back in with just enough affection to make you stay. Another reason people stay is because toxic relationships don't always start out toxic. In the beginning, everything feels perfect. The love is intense. The chemistry is strong. They make you feel special, like you finally found the person who truly sees you. And that feeling, that's what keeps people holding on. They think, if it was good before, maybe it can be good again. So they keep waiting for things to go back to the way they were, waiting for the person who once made them feel so loved to come back. But what they don't realize is that the beginning was never real. It was a mask.
Ooh, didn't that hit home? Boy, don't that mask stick on so good. You thought you was swept off your feet, because I did. Many a times. Swept off my feet and just, ooh. Waiting on that white house with that white picket fence. Not knowing that mask was destruction. violent. Because it eventually made me wear one. One where I would get around people and pretend. Oh, the inside hurt so bad. I was always crying on the inside, stomach in knots, stay nauseated. Didn't know if I was coming or going. But I wore that mask. You couldn't tell. You thought he was treating me so good. You thought I was on a Caribbean cruise with that man. Because I wore one. That's right, Zilla. Mask on, mask off. Mask of many faces, yeah. She said 9 foot, not 6 foot, 9 foot under. Okay, D Walsh? One thing I wasn't going to tolerate is him putting hands on me. I told his dad, if you want your son before I put his ass 9 foot under, come get him. I married my high school sweetheart, divorced him, now together 25 years. I had to realize I couldn't be with anyone because I was hurt and broken. I had to heal before I could move on. Had to learn to love myself again. Portia said, she said he passed away 2 years ago. God's pain. Taking the time to be alone is the best I could have ever done. It helped me know me fully, and I want what I truly deserved. And then came my second current husband, and I'm the happiest I've ever been. Amen. When you finally realize that he was just a figment of your fantasy, and you finally get it, you cry and cry and cry it out.
A performance. And once the toxic partner knew they had control, the mask came off. But the biggest reason people stay in toxic relationships, they don't believe they deserve better. And that right there, that's the saddest part. Because the truth is they do, everyone does. No one deserves to be belittled, controlled, manipulated, or made to feel small. No one deserves to cry themselves to sleep at night, wondering why the person they love keeps hurting them. No one deserves to live in fear, constantly questioning their worth. But when someone has been broken down for so long, when they've been conditioned to accept mistreatment as love, they stop seeing their own value. They stop believing they are worthy of more. And until they can break free from that mindset, they will stay. Not because they want to suffer, but because they don't see a way out. And this is why we need to stop judging people who are trapped in these situations. It's easy to say, if it were me, I'd leave. But unless you've been there, unless you felt what it's like to be completely stripped of your identity, your confidence, your identity, your belief in yourself, you have no idea how hard it is. Leaving a toxic relationship isn't just about walking out the door. It's about rewiring your mind, rebuilding your self-worth.
And you have to. You have to rebuild your self-worth. It's been so hard for me. So hard. That's that mask. That's that mask that I put on to cover that hurt, that pain, like, so nobody will see it. Like, everybody can think that I'm okay, I'm perfect, he treats her like this, oh, she's so, no. You can get out of the relationship, but like he said, rebuilding your self-worth. It's crazy work. And it's a lot of work. That's the part that hurt. It was all fake, a mask. She said, Sunshine, we all healing together, Mom. Yes, it is. I'm here for watching and listening. She said, when you finally realized that he was just a figment of your fantasy. Yeah. Facts, nobody should never judge. We never know what a person is going through. Exactly. But we're going to have those people, Sunshine, that's going to judge and, But that's when we got to find us, rebuild ourselves. I am rebuilding myself. Does it take time? Yes. After dealing with so much toxicity. I've dealt with toxicity for years. I'm 47, so at 21, finally being able to be free, but not rebuilding. Not rebuilding, y'all. Just being free. Still feeling caged. Still feeling guilty. Still feeling alive. Was I wrong? Did he deserve answers from me? Which was only going to lead me back if I did that.
Finding the courage to believe that you deserve better, even when every voice in your head is telling you otherwise. And that takes strength. That takes time. And that takes a whole lot of healing. Toxic relationships are not just about physical control. They are about mental control. It's easy to look at someone in a bad relationship and think they can just leave whenever they want. But what people don't understand is that by the time a person realizes they are in a toxic situation, their mind has already been rewired to believe that leaving is impossible. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, methodical process. Bit by bit, the toxic partner breaks down their confidence, isolates them from their support system, and makes them question their own reality. Before they know it, the victim isn't just trapped in the relationship, they're trapped inside their own mind. You see, toxic relationships operate like a psychological prison. Imagine a bird that has been kept in a cage for years. At first, it fights, it flaps its wings, it tries to escape. But over time, when every attempt to fly is met with rejection, pain, or punishment, the bird stops trying. It accepts the cage as home. And here's the saddest part: when the door is finally opened, when freedom is right there, the bird still doesn't leave. Why? Because it doesn't believe it can survive outside that cage. That's exactly how toxic relationships work.
And that's just what it is. It's just what it is. Feeling like the door's open, but why can't I leave? Why do we stay places we're not happy? I love being alone and I'm truly enjoying every minute. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Kalila. I'm sorry for you ladies went through that. This is hard. We all need some kind of healing. Hey, Kimberly. I'm still healing. This has me crying at work, so I'm going to log off. I'm already sneaking a listen. I love you. I'm praying for everybody's peace. I God's babe. Miss Wish, if you don't find yourself, you become a magnet for that type of behavior, that type of relationship all the time. Kimberly said I had to stop blaming the other person and start working on myself. I had to ask myself what role I played in the destruction. Once I figured that out, I was able to rebuild alone. Zilla said we no longer have to suffer alone. Hey, Tracy in Capricorn Chronicles, she said the hardest part is forgiving when the person ain't even sorry. Zilla said rebuild and have this community of sisters. Hey, Antoinette. Hey, love. We were told we didn't deserve better, at least for me. Yeah. Hey, Kiwana. Yeah, that was me. And God's favor, you know I'm here for you, sister. You know, we gotta be.
Do anything.
Surprise! We got a dog.
Oh, new pet? Let's go to PetSmart.
The door is open, but the mind has been trained to believe it's locked. One of the ways a toxic partner reprograms the mind is through something called gaslighting. This is when they manipulate a person into questioning their own thoughts, memories, and even sanity. They might say things like, that never happened, or you're too sensitive, or you're imagining things. Over time, the victim starts to doubt themselves. They think, maybe I am overreacting. Maybe I am the problem. And once that self-doubt creeps in, the toxic partner has full control. Because when you don't trust your own mind, you start relying on them to tell you what's real. And that's a dangerous place to be. Then there's the isolation. Toxic partners know that the best way to keep control is to cut off outside influences. Friends, family, coworkers, anyone who might say, hey, this isn't normal, is slowly pushed away. They start by creating small divisions. Your friends don't really care about you. Your family is always in our business.
Boy, how many times? How many times? How many times? Because they don't want people to know how toxic they are. They don't want you to know how toxic they are. Because remember, you've been wearing that mask. That mask to make people think that everything is so peachy and cool. It's all bread and butter. It's all peanut butter and jam, and it's not. It's nothing, just emptiness. You are left alone in emptiness. You are left alone in confusion. I know how God's faith feels because I do. But sometimes we have to face these type of conversations in order to heal, you know? Insurance have been there, done that. Yeah. The isolation is real, ladies.
Why do you need them when you have me? And before the victim realizes it, their support system is gone. Now there's no one to help them see the truth. No one to remind them of who they were before the relationship. The toxic partner becomes their only reality. Another form of mental conditioning is the cycle of abuse. This is what keeps people trapped more than anything. See, toxic relationships aren't always bad. If they were, leaving would be easy. No, they mix in just enough love, just enough kindness, just enough hope to keep their partner hanging on. It's like a gambler at a slot machine losing over and over, but every now and then hitting a small win. And that little taste of happiness, that's what makes them stay. They think, see, they can be good. Maybe if I try harder, maybe if I love them more, they'll change. But that's the trick. The highs keep them hoping. The lows keep them trapped. And the cycle repeats. Then there's the fear of the unknown. When someone has been in a toxic relationship for so long, they forget what life was like before it.
Don't you? You forget totally about what life is really like. You totally forget about it. Hey, Blenda Hillin, my love. Drop your link to Blenda Hillin, please. That's where I go and find comfort. When I want to find comfort, to Blenda Hillin. Latoya said, because you built a life with that individual, you try to change them. Cynthia said, because you see others are happy. Kalila said, no one but God had to get me out of my situation. I was lost and couldn't figure out how to get out of my relationship I was in because all I saw was him and my kids. I barely see my family. Kimberly said, in my relationship, I was literally beat down physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, verbally, and then finally he tried to essay my 10-year-old. He was the worst of the worst.
They forget what healthy love feels like. They forget what it's like to make choices for themselves, to laugh freely, to be themselves without fear of judgment. And the idea of starting over, that's terrifying. The toxic partner has convinced them that they are nothing without them, that no one else will want them, that the world outside the relationship is even scarier than the pain inside it. And so, even though they are unhappy, they stay because fear of the unknown feels worse than the pain they already know. And let's not forget about guilt and obligation. Sometimes the victim feels responsible for their toxic partner. They think, I can't leave them, they need me. They might have been manipulated into believing that if they leave, the toxic partner will fall apart, or worse, hurt themselves. And so they stay not because they are happy, but because they feel trapped by their own compassion. But here's the truth. A relationship should never feel like a prison sentence. Love is not supposed to be a burden. Love is not supposed to break you. And yet, when the mind has been reprogrammed to accept suffering as love, breaking free feels impossible, even when the cage door is wide open. Fear is one of the most powerful forces in human nature. It can drive people to do things they never thought they would, and it can also keep them from doing the things they know they should. When it comes to toxic relationships, fear is often the invisible chain that holds people in place. Not love, not loyalty, not hope.
Fear. And it does. Capricorn said I had an ex try to run me over with this car, but God. I was so toxic. We were so toxic that I became the abuser. I was abused so much. I thought it was normal getting my ass beat. Who thinks that's normal? Me. I thought that was normal. We're fighting. We're gonna throw blows. It's okay for my lip to be busted. It's okay for him to break my arm. You hit me too hard, you know? Black eye here and there, you know. I ain't go outside anyway. Stop going outside. Stop being available for friends and family. I believe a lot of people think others struggles by themselves, getting by themselves, doing alone financially. Leticia, once you start taking blame or making excuses for a person's actions is when you begin to accept what's going on and never allow anyone to take your power. You all are very powerful people. Take it back. Take your power back. She said, I became numb. Hey, Kimberly. She said, so true. She said, say that. I became a stone cold alcoholic trying to figure out how to pull my life back together. And then I put the bottle down and picked up the Bible. And from there, God carried me. Man. Okay, Kimberly. I was so low at a point I felt that I wasn't even good enough for God. I vowed to take my power back. Let loving yourself and relearning, learning yourself be the second step of your healing process. Let realizing that you wasn't the fault of your situation be the first step. It's powerful, Latif. Most definitely it was fear. She said, amen, Kimberly. Yeah, my ex-husband's son asked to live with me and my husband. He spent spring break with me. My ex was mad because he wants to be with me and his brothers. Was I wrong to let him come? I don't, shit. I know all too well, DMD. I don't think so, My God, prayer works. Yes, it does. Yeah, no, I was so broken. So I understand what Taco Prince was saying about being broken. That I hadn't even embraced my cancer scars. I was like, I'm insecure. Because this man was like, show me. And I was like, I can't, I'm insecure. I'm insecure. He said, why? I'm insecure of my scars. And he told me to embrace those. He said, because many women don't got to embrace those scars. And then when he said that, I knew then that I was broken. That I needed self-healing, not somebody to heal me, but self-healing. Because nobody has said that to me before. See, hearing those words hit my ear was abnormal instead of being normal. That this man sees something in me that I don't see within myself. But when somebody tells you something that you haven't heard in ever, not forever, ever, that's when you know you're in a place where you're not wanted or in a place where you're not happy. But why do we stay is the question.
Fear. And this fear takes many forms. Fear of being alone, fear of what's waiting on the other side, fear of not being enough, fear of making a mistake. All of it works together to create a prison without walls. a cage where the door is open, but no one dares to step out. The fear of being alone is one of the strongest reasons people stay in toxic relationships. Society has drilled into our minds that being in a relationship, any relationship, is better than being single. Movies, songs, even family and friends all push this idea that being alone means you failed. So even when a relationship is toxic, even when it's filled with pain and manipulation, people think, at least I have someone. They tell themselves that being with the wrong person is better than having no one at all. But here's the thing, being alone does not mean being lonely. You can be in a room full of people and still feel completely empty. And you can be by yourself and feel.
How many of y'all been in a room full of people and still felt lonely? Still, I'm not in this room. You didn't even feel like you was amongst the people. Ken said, I try to convince myself now that I'm better off alone, but I crave an honest, loving relationship that formed a black hole that I have often visited. Me too. D-Wash says, scars show a sign if you made it through the storm. Those scars are your beauty marks. Never be afraid to show them. Yeah, that's what he said. She said, I was separated for 3 to 4 years before my divorce was final. The relationship I was in after that was like the same thing, different face. I had to realize I attracted my past. Melanie said, absolutely true. Antoinette said, God bless you. Thank you. I agree with Virgil, but I look at life now. I can argue with myself, not anyone else, if that makes sense. Yes, it does, Cynthia, very much so. D-Wash said it all the time.
Feel free for the first time in years. Then there's the fear of starting over. See, when someone has been in a toxic relationship for a long time, they forget what life was like before it. Their identity has been wrapped up in the relationship. They've changed the way they think, the way they dress, the way they speak, all to keep the peace. And the idea of stepping out into the unknown, that's terrifying. They wonder, who am I without them? What do I even like anymore? Can I?
That's me. Stepping out into realization and trying to figure out, do I think I can make it? Can I be alone? Who am I going to be without this person? That part. She said, Kimberly said, I went to dinner with 6 of my children. I felt completely lonely. I felt like a complete stranger. Ken said, the worst part for me is my 26-year-old went through the same thing, got married, experienced the same things I did, thinking she had to. But I'm glad she didn't stay as long as I did. She got out. She said, yes, that's why I said I became him. Yeah.
I do this on my own, and that fear keeps them in place. Because as painful as the relationship is, at least it's familiar. At least they know what to expect. And sometimes the fear of uncertainty feels worse than the pain they already know. And let's talk about self-doubt.
Explore hand-picked hotels through the edit and unlock upgraded stays. With Chase Sapphire Reserve. Make more of what's yours.
Toxic partners have a way of making their victims feel every fight, every argument, every mere thing, we wouldn't have these problems. No one else would put up with you. And after a while, those words start to feel like the truth. They start to believe maybe I am too much. I'm the relationship. Believe bring
Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second, okay? The internet is like, y'all ain't great. Y'all ain't about to heal over here. Go on, devil. Go on. Yes, we are. Let me get back to it. Everyone. Yeah, I'm scared of change too. You're not by yourself with that one. Can y'all hear me pretty good? Can y'all still hear me? I understand what you're saying, girl. Let me go up, y'all. Let me see. Let me see. Real love is supposed to bring peace and joy. How many of y'all didn't know what love was? Like, thought you knew, but you just didn't. Thought that love was pain and that was part of it. Because I thought that was part of it forever. Let me read some of these comments, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let's see. Read some of y'all comments. She said, Kenya said, yes, that's why I said because of him. Latif said, please don't think that falling is a bad thing. If you never failed at anything, then you haven't tried enough things. He said, you didn't fail your marriage or relationship. It failed you. Stop taking ownership for what others have done to you. You are still empowering your abusers. Take your power back. Kenya said, I suffered a miscarriage from my ex-husband trying to stick a clothes hanger up in me. Locked me in a closet, pregnant, no ventilation for over 3 hours. I just wanted to die in the closet. Sister. D-Wash said, Latif, my dad, same exact way. Says the exact same thing. Cynthia said, thanks for your support, Latif. Kalila said, not being in a relationship and seeing other toxic relationships made me want to be by myself. It also made me, I don't know what you said after that. She said, yes, Latif, thanks for your support and encouragement. He said, D-Wash, now you've heard it twice. There must be some truth behind it. Kimberly said, BTW got out of the relationship and went from 300 pounds to 148. I figured if I made myself fat and unattractive, he would stop essaying me. Zen said, unstoppable. Latif said, Cynthia and Rare, you're all very welcome. Gina said, hey, Gina. Cynthia said, my mistake was I was looking for the love my parents had. Ha, ha, ha. I think so, too, of me. I can honestly say that. I grew up in a house where I was loved. That's why, like I said, I don't know why I've accepted what I've accepted in life. Hey, Denise. Hey, Miss Parker, scared of change. I've been in mine since I was 18. Hello, everyone. D-Wash said, Latif, a lot of truth behind it. Zen said, discipline with no challenges, not a thing. Ken said, a delay is not a denial. Latif said, Kimberly, never again dim your light. His essay attacks was informed by his desires for you. They were created and used to control you. Zen said, yes. Kalila said, it also made me see myself and my self-worth a lot more. I don't know how to say that, the talimage. I had to learn to love and learn my imperfect imperfections perfectly, okay? Kimberly said, I love being by myself. I love for others, but it's just not something that I want for myself. I'm enjoying self-love right now, okay? Kalila said, I did not. D.Y. said, love, never supposed to hurt. Kimberly said, I knew what it was. I just wasn't willing to wait for it. Ken said, I felt like everyone knew I was broken, like everyone seen my inner scars. I felt embarrassed and humiliated. Jessica Lee said, I tried to teach love, so I stayed in it, hoping that love will love me back fully. That's a good one, Jessica. Strength said, I'm single and it's been over 10 years, but I stayed not to be alone for the money, not knowing my worth, looking for love that I never had from my parents, proving to his other women I was his main. Let's go, Strength. That's real. Zilla said, I would save everyone else, but couldn't save myself. I was drowning. Lisa said, good evening, Ms. Parker. And everyone just tuning in. I'm so backed on my way back to. All right. And with some good ones, ladies. It's being so transparent. I think I'm still stuck on the mask part. That's where I was, Zilla. That's where I am. I'm drowning. I'm saving face for everybody else while I'm drowning. Yeah, I'm drowning. Mentally, emotionally, and so much more. But I'm so far past that right now. I dimmed my light for a long time. And I still ask myself, why do you stay, Miss Parker, if you're not happy? Why do you stay not where I'm not wanted, but where you don't want what you have at that moment? You know what I'm saying? Strength said, but no, I'm free, learning to love me, setting boundaries, attending therapy for helping me with my healing journey, finally putting me first, not looking for validation. Yes. Yes, Strength. Yes. Yes. And that would be me seeking validation from everybody else. Ken said, I pray peace and healing, the ability to know your worth to everyone. This hits deep for me, more than I can begin to explain. I'm going to catch y'all later. All right, sister, I love you. Be careful and look for the signs. Look out for those who play victim after they create pain and manipulation. Ever notice when toxicity begins, you or y'all started feeling sorry for the abuser? A justice said, I was with my kid's dad for 25 years. I broke free in 2019 and ain't turned back since. Much love, ladies, okay? Gina said, after reading some of these comments, I need to hug my husband because I'm blessed. Our relationship isn't perfect, nor will it be, but we in it to win it. Okay, Gina? It's the match for you or for them. Them. Yeah, them. Hey, Shay Star, welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. Janet says, been single 8 years, so scared to date. People are not human, it's scary. I'm good making it, no room for someone's son. Okay? Say that again. That's the truth, man. Like you raising a man, jeez. I thought that. that the pain, will eventually turn into happiness. She said, let my kids father in 2015, been single ever since, can't find anyone with morals and values. Swear. Promise you, you hear me? Kimberly said, I've been single and celibate for over 6 years. I feel clean, pure, strong. I'm an emotional lover, so it's not hard for me, and it's very hard for me to fall in love. Anyway, I'm about business, okay? Kimberly, are we twins? LOL, literally. Me, I'm in the gym and in my Bible working on my cussing and smoking. Yeah, I definitely need to get into my Bible and work on my cussing. Not the smoking so much, but because I thought God said feed off the land, so I didn't know people meant weed was bad. I don't know. Candy said I stayed single for many years because I didn't want drama, but then I fell in love with the man of my dreams, and we have a set of twin girls, and I'm truly glad I saved the best for last. Okay. Latif says, then a lot of us have confused love and lust. We often confuse a want and need without distinguishing the differences between the two. People are looking for that feeling of love. Love is not a feeling. Yeah. She said, Candy, want to do it? Want to do it? Lord. She said, I've been married now. I've been married now for 11 years. He's 18 years older than me. He came up into my life after losing my sister and him losing his wife. I thought it was trauma bonding, but we've been rocking 10 plus years. Latif said, love is an action that can be witnessed by the visual eye. You can see how the parents or others loved. Yeah. Thank you for becoming a member, Pinky Jean. She said, hello, Miss Parker, that's my struggle too. I'm like, where in the hell does it say weed, LOL? But I don't know. It's hard, man. I ain't there yet. Man, for real. Look, feed off the earth is weed to me. I'm sorry, until I see it in the Bible, point me to the scripture and I'll work on it, okay? She said, yes, love is shown. And I agree. I want to ask this, y'all. I'm 47, and at this point, I think where I've been in so many broken relationships, I want to be married. I was like, marriage is off the table. Totally. Marriage is totally off the table. It's a lot of stuff I look at in a relationship now, and I'm like, mm-mm. Yes, love is shown. It is. It is. Appreciate you, Pinky Jean. So, again, why do we stay where we're not wanted or happy? Why do you stay where you don't want? Cynthia said, well, all right. Why do we stay? Why do you stay? Why did you stay? She said, all the amazing stories of love are beautiful. Mika said, her, y'all is good for you. Love is also felt. Yeah, love these communities. Thank you, Nika. I appreciate that for you giving that herbal advice. I needed that. Okay. Cynthia said agreed. How many of y'all feel like that? Like, this is just what it is. This is really what a relationship is. This is where it is. Your self-worth is gone. Null and void. That's why this conversation is so hard. Because a lot of us have to take accountability. But guess what? With strength, you took the mask off. You rebuilt yourself. So ladies, don't feel bad. Even when it comes back. Because it's going to be a song. It could be anything that triggers the emotions back. But the happy part is I got out. I found my self-worth. I'm starting to rebuild me. It's just my feelings. She said marriage is lovely with the right person, but it's different. Not for everyone. It's not. I just kind of came with terms with that. I don't want to. And it's not bad. Like, you know, Virtue said, it's not too late. It's not. I don't want to. I'm just content at this point. And I don't think being content is a bad thing with that part, but I don't want to. Because one thing I watch is marriages and stuff. I think I'm scared because I watch people get married and vows is committed, a commitment in front of the Lord, and I don't play. You know what I'm saying? And I like how Portia said she felt guilty because, you know what I'm saying, she took her vows so serious with her first marriage, and it's like, no, you ain't great play with me and the Lord at the same time. Just no. I ain't going. I ain't going. I ain't going. She said, I think once you find love, you have to constantly work at it. It's not like you to find someone, fall in love with, and never keep it going. My children don't feel with my spouse. Well, let's just know. Okay, Lizzie. Damn, what was I gonna say? How she said it? Let me see. Yeah, because like to me, I think in a like I noticed in my relationship, my past relationships and stuff, like date nights, you know how he said it in the beginning, like he was like, it was so good, and stuff like that. It was so good in the beginning and stuff. Everything's always good in the beginning. And it's like I know I lost sense of the relationships, like date nights and stuff. We stopped it. We got so comfortable, we stopped date nights. And I think that's so important to keep things going the way there was. Don't stop little things that you started doing that kept the vibes going and just kept you happy, and things that y'all did, his likes, your likes, and stuff like that. Once you get too comfortable, to me, it's kind of like that's when the relationship really, the mask comes off and things. So she said, in my situation, I had grown so used to the abuse that after it was over, I thought my life was boring. I had grown used to the chaos. And that's so sad. Just thinking of it makes me want to cry. Hey, Miss Tequila. And Kimberly, I'm right there with you. I thought all of that was good. I liked chaos. If it wasn't arguments and shit, you was boring as hell. You was boring as hell to me. You was lame. But it was love. I'm like what Ken said too, running good men off. Because I was so used to toxicity. And then when you go down the line, you see those pictures where he done loved that woman, built that woman a house from scratch, and someone like, damn, that could have been me. Never get too comfortable. Yeah. Like, damn, that could have been me. Pushing good men away. Because I was still stuck in the toxicity. Carrying it from relationship to relationship to relationship. Those characteristics that I put myself throughout all those relationships, I was taking it in each and every relationship. So for a long time, I was like, you must be single. You're not. Not knowing that I still held on to toxicity. Even when somebody tell me I look nice, stop it. Instead of thank you, I will stop it. Because in my mind, I done got fixated on I don't look good. I was torn down, so this compliments was stop it. You think so? Not even feeling confidence to say thank you. I appreciate that. No. Zilla said, when I took my vows, I knew I didn't want to be married. I was told never have anything in life. And I had children from him. He was praise and worship minister, and they condoned everything he did. We have to date more, stop pushing titles, living together so quickly, get to know each other. Like, just like, see what gets them angry. Google first. Yes, strength. Yes, being friends first, starting off as friends. Why rush things? Why rush things? Because when you rush into things, I already know now from being in those kind of relationships, like, I don't want to rush. I want to take my time. Learning, like you said, learning what makes you angry. Walks in the park, nature, breathing in fresh air, not always being inside. The simple things in life, learning the simple things in life, not shopping, not trips. Reading books together. Not watching lustful movies and things like that, but biblical movies. Reading the Bible together, praying together. Doing healthy things in the relationship to keep it positive. Building each other up. Because see, when you're up here and that person's down there, or you're down there and that person's up there, how are you ever going to level it out? With all the toxicity, it can. But we fight so hard to level it out. We keep fighting. And guess what? The scale keeps going. You're fighting, not them. Or he's fighting, not you. It's never going to level out. It's never going to balance. You can keep putting shit on there. You can keep going to buy favorite cologne, perfume, nails done, all of that. But the scale never weighs out right. How many times we heard that one? After all I've done for you. After everything we've been through. And that guilt, it starts weighing in. Damn, we have been through a lot. He's right. She's right. Damn, he did do a lot for me. But see, when someone loves you and they do something for you, they never hold it over your head. It's never a I owe you attached to that. Sharon said, yes, picnics, slow walks, talk, seeing if we share the same beliefs, no intimacy. Let's go, Sharon. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Goddess. Jessica said, Miss Parker, that moment when you can be soft. I pray that this person God has for you is going to be a soft landing the way you're lining yourself up. You're blessed. Thank you, Jessica Lee. I'm never getting married again. Oh, Nisi. We try so hard sometimes to please others that we forget about ourselves. That is true. Regina said it's easy for someone to tell you how to love and who to love, but when you love, it hurts. Hey, Substance, how you doing? And Substance said, yes, takes a lot of time to learn people. Right. Regina said it's hard. It's hard to stay on here still. Not. Okay, Regina, praying for you, my love. Praying for you. Take your time. Get you some rest and stuff. And all of these things is right. You got to look at the relationship as a scale. Because see, just because you're learning somebody, the scale don't go up. When you take your time to get to learn and know that person, the scale stays the same. But when you rush things, that scale, it starts tilting. Just like a regular scale, it just starts tilting. He said, Leticia, knowing yourself is key. Understanding and accepting your own faults is priceless. This way, no one can ever use them against you. Nobody is perfect. So don't try to be perfect for anyone. That's true. That's true. Substance said, had to learn the hard way. Leticia said, seek more for mutual understanding, building mutual respect. Yeah. Mm. Man, that's so true. And self-esteem, it hits different. It hits. Once that's gone, like you're trapped. You're trapped. Give me a second, guys. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, once that self-esteem is gone, Shay said it took me a long time to figure out that my needs for just as important as his showed me over and over again that I needed what I needed was important to him, but I stayed convinced myself he loved for he loved. Watch yourself, darling. It can be addicting. What can be addicting? Sorry, guys, real quick. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I hate when I type too fast. Sorry, guys. Okay. Sunshine said, hold on, Sunshine, I'm getting to you, baby. Substance said, hello, I'm always listening, but I drive for a living hands full. Okay, be careful. She said, I want to respond so bad, but it's all ears here. I know. She said, don't learn how to talk and text, comment, and comment child. It's one of those. It was definitely one of those. Was talking to substances about the chat being addicting. Okay, what are we doing? We're talking about relationships. I just wanted to do something different and talk about just switch up the narrative a little bit. Not always talk about the kids and stuff like that, and just have real conversation that's much needed and stuff. So I said, why do we stay if we're not wanted, and why do we stay in places we're not happy and stuff? So just going back to content a little bit, and getting away from the kids conversation, Kimberly, just a little bit. Just a little bit. So that's it. And two, it be the embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? You've shielded all this pain for so long, the embarrassment of it all too. Let me see. Latif says, Sunshine, please feel free to speak your piece. Your comments may just be the answer to an unasked question. I'm feeling good. Thanks, Chris. I'm feeling good. This is really hit home. These are these wake up conversations that we really need, even when we don't want to admit it. Cause like I said, most of us have been through this. If not for some, still going through it. Hey, Pookie Poo. Oh, okay, you was talking to Tia. My bad, Chris. Melanie said yes. So a lot of people share their story, and she said so very true. I hope everybody in here is very blessed and have a safe day. Thank you, Tia. Strim said, not in the business to keep nobody who doesn't want to be kept. I'm down with people pleasing, expecting the bare minimum. Okay. Why I stay low self-esteem, fear, embarrassment, thoughts, and competency. Not knowing how to put myself, my emotions, and my feelings first. But when I learn, no turning back, I'm enough. Okay. Go on, Kimberly. Regina said emotional. Tribe said it's a beautiful day today in Nebraska, long but beautiful, made homemade chicken Popeyes with the grands, and now ready to relax. Let me block you, okay? Kimberly Scott said thoughts. Let me block sister for coming in here with that. Stop that. Damn. She's toxic for me. She's. Hey, Latanya. And that's where it goes back kind of for me when sorry y'all wait. I gotta stop. But I like how Portia said, I'm easily distracted when it's something good, but I like how Portia was like, she mentioned that she was like, she got married and the first marriage, she's like, due to spiritual beliefs and stuff, I just, I stayed based off of spiritual beliefs, and a lot of us have, especially in marriages. It's just against God, and it's just against God to lead, you know what I'm saying? Because it's in the Bible, it's, against the vows and stuff like that. But yeah, I get it. Let me read a couple of these. Negative Nancy said, evening, Miss Parker, mods in chat. I'm late, but here for this conversation. Too many are ashamed to admit we've been there, done it. Not being aware and honest keeps us stuck repeating it over and over. Yep. When we learn to give ourselves, grace and love ourselves, a whole new world appears, and the respect you receive is unmeasurable. That's good. I'm not ready for everybody, so when I find that person that I click with, I hold on for dear life. Tragic flaw. At least you owning it. Latif said advice I had to give myself is recognize how loud the silence in the relationship is. Quiet the background noise and openly communicate the issues to address and be ready to take accountability. Yeah, that's good. I feel like we need some lo-fi music, okay? I gotta do that later. I gotta do that for my late night. Know your worth. Good one, Melanie. That's a good one. She said, this so fitting right now, okay? She said, Lost, I've been here. I had to step away for just a minute. Hey, Catherine, how you doing, love? Never ask a person why they did something. Ask what did I do to deserve it? Then ask what are you doing to deserve me? I want the apology to be 1,000 louder than the disrespect and disappointment. That's a good one, Latif. Let me read that one more again. Let me read that. I got that on my phone, y'all. For real, it's distracting. Never ask a person why they did something. Ask what did I do to deserve it? Then ask what are you doing to deserve me? I want the apology to be 1,000 times louder than the disrespect and disappointment. Yep, absolutely. I can't love a man or anyone else if I don't love myself. I took an abusive relationship for me to find out how strong I really am. Marriage is supposed to be a union, not dictatorship. That's why I won't get married, sister. Hey, Shelly. Yeah, I am. She said, Latif, what? I love myself enough to know I'm better single and happy in that. Yeah, substance. That's good. How many of y'all feel that way? Like, go by that concept that as the woman we should be home. She said, I'm just confused, child. I totally agree. Kimberly Scott, I've been there. A lot of people in this generation don't know how to be truly a partner, even if it's just interested in that. Man, say that again. Say that again, substance. That is so true. So true. They don't know how to truly be a partner. That's factual. That's just so factual. She said, Miss Parker, you outdid yourself with the interview with Kenneth. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I agree. And she said, Kimberly, you're right. I totally agree. But yeah. These damn commercials. That's that repeated cycle, that we be talking about all the time. It doesn't just happen with essay and all of that. It's sometimes learned behaviors from things we've seen. And sorry, sis. At my age, honestly, I enjoy my freedom. I have a couple of companions. We get together when we get together. Neither live in my city, which makes it even better for me. Yeah, it'd be that anticipation. I'm ready to be in my femininity. Okay. She said, hello, Miss Parker said it is. It is. He said, what I'm saying is when the communication breaks down, there's a problem. Stop listening to other friends, address the problem, talk it out. Sometimes it's just a misunderstanding. Amen, Belinda. Being married to an older man has its challenges. Well, it did. I had to take myself, heard loud and clear that I'm your wife, not your child. His two daughters, 5 years younger than I. Well, we all good now, okay? He said a lot of potentially great relationships are wrong because people forget how to talk to each other instead of talk at each let me get to it. Almost. Okay. Divorced 2 times, LO, and the one who I didn't want turned out to be the God-serving man who puts me first, opens doors, and asks, how was your day? I'll cook tonight. You go relax. Okay, Kimberly? Period. Each other, sorry. Okay, so he was saying a lot of potentially great relationships are wrong because people forget how to talk to each other instead of talk to each other. Well, at each other. Sorry. Okay. She said, amen. He watched my failed marriages for 25 years and waited for me. I'm so glad he did. That's awesome. Kimberly, that is amazing. That's beautiful. She said, Kimberly, girl, that's great. It is. Mm, 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 mm. You was just loving the wrong person. Mm, 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 mm. I hope this helped some, and because it hits home for sure. Mm. Yeah, let me get back focused. Let me read some of these comments because I like them. What was that? Divorce. She said, I'm waiting on my Prince Charming. Kimberly said, yeah, he is fine too. Stop that, Kimberly. Kimberly Scott, where do they sell those at? She said, I'm happy for you, sister. Okay, sunshine. I have 5 grown kids, 26 grandkids, and 5 great grands. I'm the eldest living of my father's kids. My focus is the upright for them, no time for no selfish brother. And a lot of men now are selfish. Child. Mm-hmm. I emailed you a story as well before I forget. Okay. He said, yes, they talk to each other instead of to each other. Naturally, both parties become defensive and the conversation goes on mute. I wonder why the conversation goes on mute, Latif. Huh. What did you say? Yeah, I wonder why the conversation goes on mute. I was raised in a Christian home with all of the traditional thoughts of being a good submissive wife. Submission turned to abuse, and I blame myself for his behavior. Tribe, I can't wait to have grands. Hubby has 2, 1 boy and a girl. Boy graduate in May, baby girl in kindergarten. They're mine too. My son says, nope, mom, no kids. We're not about that life, okay? My kids be saying that too. They be like, my youngest ones, because Nisha, my oldest ones got kids, but my other 3, they're like, nah, we're not doing it. When I sought therapy and found the woman who I lost, I didn't know her learning grace. Now to love me made all the difference. And now I have peace in my heart and my home, okay? Kimberly, stop that. Congrats. Hold on to it. Man, this was good. I like this one. And I'm going to do another one. I got some, not tomorrow, because I think I want to do I'm going to do trafficking in America tomorrow. I've been holding on to that one. I'm going to do the trafficking in America tomorrow. I've found some good videos, but I do want to do one with history because I want to go back to history and stuff because I didn't do one last week, so I want to do one this week for sure. I think I'm going to do that Saturday and stuff and then do my all-nighters like I've been doing and things. But this has been really interesting, y'all. This was good. I think it was a part of healing, and that's how I know I'm doing something I ain't got no business. Got my phone in my hand. It's all caught in my boots. Go on. Damn. Told y'all I aggravate myself, guys. She said, wow. Yeah, this was good. I think it was part of healing. I think some of us needed this and stuff like that. And to wake up those things and be happy that we survived those things. We survived those things. We learned how to rebuild ourselves. Recognize that love doesn't hurt. You get what I'm saying? Love doesn't hurt. And there's no such a thing as a scale being, it's got to be even. Hold on, Latif. Okay. Mute because both parties have gotten defensive. So whatever is being said isn't being received because the defense mechanisms have been activated and you will naturally hear what you want to hear. I suppose. I mean, if I hear something for real, like if I hear something and I don't like it and it's inappropriate, I'm on mute. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm on mute. You ain't get what you used to get. That's when the disconnection starts for me. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I can get that. I can get that part. All right, Shelly. All right. She said, you are so awesome, Ms. Parker. Sometimes you have to unwind from cases for a minute and regroup and clear your mind. Yeah, this was good conversation. This was a grown, much needed conversation. Just the dialogue and kick it sometimes and stuff like that. I want to bring back, I kind of want to not stick to this, like a toxic relationship type of thing, but the do's and the don'ts, because me and Pee Wee had started this conversation maybe like a month ago and stuff like that. And S. Hutchinson over the beef sector was like, what did he say about the trash, Ms. Parker? Like, no. What did he say? Because I don't be doing no trash taking out. So it's almost like the do's and the don'ts in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's like, would you do this? Would he do this? Who does the cooking? Why does it got to be me just cooking? Why I got to be the one to take the trash out and clean the house, do the laundry all the time? So basically the do's and the don'ts. She said, yes, Ms. Parker, for real. Yeah. And once I stop communication, if you see a disconnect, it's really disconnected. It really is. Lie in our relationships. She said, love is kind. Yep, love is kind. Love don't hurt. Spouses are competing against each other, and that starts friction. Yes. One may grow and the other stay stagnant. Yes. This becomes a battle of control instead of finding where each person plays a role. That's good, Jessica. Do y'all feel like that? And I'm not going to be here but like 5 more minutes. Do y'all feel like that? Because I think I've seen that a lot. Because why do I think like the men feel like the women aren't supposed to be better than them in certain areas? I've always felt like that. Do y'all agree? Because that's what I always felt like. The men always felt like they was the dominant person in the house, the dominant person on the job. Like women couldn't make more money. Women couldn't have a better job than them. Women are supposed to be in the house, being workers, work outside and on the inside. And I don't believe in that. I'm a 50-50. Now, do women want a man to just sweep them off their feet and be like, hey, I got everything. You just stay home, you chill. I got us. And you just take care of the house stuff. Yeah, but is that anymore? Thank you all. I'm truly happier with him than I've ever been. To feel wanted as needed does feel fairy tale like at times. We pray together and I think it draws us closer. I think when you pray together, when you just keep that spiritual side of things, she said, love edifies, okay? She said, took a lot of self-work to admit I have low confidence and that I kept the man that needed me because them to lash out roles reversed. And she said, I had upper hand, felt power, but only craved it because lacking self-worth. Let's go. She said, Ms. Parker, one day when you have some free time, can I come on and tell you about my sisters on the lighting? I think I can do it. Yeah, we'll set that up. I think we can set that up soon. Maybe I got an interview on Friday, maybe Saturday. has to be mutual support. It does to me. I'm back, chat. I really had to take a minute to gather myself. It's okay, sister. Conversation is with both parties. One of them only wants their way, no compromise. Yes, Nisi, yes. No gender roles. If one cooks, the other washes the dishes. That's how it should be. Yeah, my husband of 15 years challenged me with schooling monies, etc. Left and I ain't look back. Okay. I want men to uplift me, cheer me on, knows when I'm not myself. Me too, strength. I think that's a good one. A family that prays together stays together, period. Stop that, y'all. It's true. It's so true. Let me see what you said, D. Saturday? Okay, if it works for you on Saturday, I'll write that down. D, you gotta hit me up and let me know what's a good time. Let me know what's a good time and we'll work it out and stuff like that. I will be back, you guys, for my little late night. I'm gonna go change clothes again. I got my little cute little teddy bear hoodie on with this pink bow because you know I love the pink with the breast cancer and stuff. And I'm just up here chilling. It feels good in this room. Temperature is just right, and the vibes was everything. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Let me see. I know that I'm going to be hated for saying this. Let me see if I want to read it. I suppose I won't be a hater. Okay, I know that I'm going to be hated for saying this, but this goes for both men and women. Please be worthy and qualified for the relationship that you want. Worthy and qualified. Sounds like an application. And I ain't going. But I get it. She said, okay, we'll do. She said, I love y'all. These adult conversations are a refreshing change. We need cleavage. Stop that. Yeah, the thank you, Alicia. Like, I need a resume. Equally yoked. Yeah, I think you do. She said, I agree with that. D's like, I agree with that. Yes, set boundaries. Where y'all see boundaries? I seen application. I'm like Alicia. I seen resume too. But I could have read that wrong. Let me go back. Let me see. I know that I'm gonna be hated for saying this, but this goes for both men and women. Please be worthy and qualified for the relationship that you want. Qualified. What does qualified say? Boundaries. Who said boundaries? Kim. Where you get boundaries out of that, Sister Kim? Well, good luck with that, Latif, and Alicia. Yeah, good luck with that. Qualifications and verifications and I guess 3. You gotta have what's called 3 references to make sure that you're qualified. You gotta have 3 references that shit. You gotta have 3 references and let me see. What else did he say? Qualification. You gotta be qualified and where to go? Don't be trying to erase comments now. And worthy. Qualified and worthy, Alicia. You got to be qualified and worthy. So make sure your resume is good. You got 3 references. If I was you, I'd pick somebody out the chat. Yeah. Not really. Let me end this, guys. I got some text messages to that girl. It's a vibe. It's been a vibe. Thank you guys so much for pulling up with me and stuff like that. I hope it helped a lot of people just having this kind of conversation. And, you know, a lot of people are scared. I'm like, what she said, Negative Nancy said, yeah, I'm responding to some texts. I'm sorry. You know, some people don't want to admit it. Some people just don't want to admit that they're in a toxic relationship and that they're that person. And it's men and women. It's not just women. It's both. So I appreciate for everybody that poured into me. I'm going to be back for my all-nighter. You know, I appreciate everybody again. Man, I love you, riders. Thank y'all for all the great advice that y'all had. Y'all poured into some of our sisters in the chat for real, like real genuine love. Kimberly, thank you. You know what you've done for one of our sisters. I appreciate that so much. Y'all keep uplifting each other. Let's just keep uplifting each other and building and stuff like that. I'm gonna check these emails, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And I'll see y'all back. Shane Crocker is great to go live, but I'll be back for my all-night about 11:30 or 12. Because I'm going to be here till like 3 or 4 in the morning, maybe 5, because I feel pretty good. Again, thank you guys. Have a good night, okay?